Hello friends, here the computer network IPv4 addressing class 2. Okay, in IPv4 addressing we have seen in previous class that in IP address there is two fields, network ID field and host ID field. So the problem comes in network ID field and host ID field means how many bits we are assigned for network ID field. If there is a 32-bit IP address, then how much number of bits we assign for network ID and how much bits we are assigned for host ID. So this is a problem. So this problem can be solved by the categorization of IP address into two types: classful IP address and classless IP address. In classful IP address, static assignment, that network ID field size are implicitly defined and here in classless needs network ID fields are defined explicitly. Means that in classful the network ID fields are fixed and defined, but in classless the network ID fields are not defined or not fixed. We will see later how classless and classful work. Okay, so now in classful IPv4 address, are divided into 5 class A, B, C, D and E. Now we will see each others one by one. So the first one, the class A. In class A IPv4 address, the IP address of class A start with 0 bit. Means that if there is 32-bit string, 32-bit binary string, if the first bit is start with 0, then this is be a class A IP address. And the network ID fields are 8-bit. Means that in IP address there is 32 bits, 8 bit. So the first block of 8 bits are for network ID and last three blocks are for host ID. Means that the network ID are for 8 bit and host ID of 24 bit. So here the IP address range of IP address. So the range of IP address of class A is 0.0.0 because the first bit is 0 and remaining all bit must be 0, maybe 0 or not. So the minimum value is 0 and maximum value of IPv4 of class A is 127.125.25. Means that here 0 is the fix. For maximum we put all bits 111. So there is 7 bits. The sum of 7 bits is 127. So the first 8-bit blocks be 127 and the remaining other blocks of 8 bits whose maximum value is 255. So this is a range of class A IPv4 class. Okay, the number of networks, total number of network. So the network is defined by the network ID or network address. So here there is a 8-bit network ID. So the first bit is fixed. So we can change only 7 bit. So the number of network is 2 to the power 7. Number of host per network in a given network. If there is one here this is a network ID and the remaining is host ID. So the number of host IDs is called number of host per network. So the host ID field is a 24 bits. We see this is a bit of 24 bit. So the number of host per network is 2 to the power 24 and we minus here minus 2 because the first if the all values of this is 0 0 0, this is called network address. or if the value of r is, if the value of or 24-bit is 1, that's what called broadcast address or special IP address, which cannot be a host ID of any network. Okay, we have learned in previous class, if in network ID field all bits are 1, this IP address is called broadcast IP address, and which cannot be a IP address of any host. Okay, if in host ID field all bits are 0, then this IP address is called network address, and which cannot be a IP address of any host. So we will subtract -2 out of 2 to the power 24, because the starting and last IP address is not a IP address of any host. Okay, so here the network mask is 255.0.0.5, means that with the help of this network mask we can extract the network ID if we have given IP address. Okay, in class B, the 1 and 0, these two starting bits are fixed. Starting bits start with 0, 1 or 0, with these two bits are fixed. So here in class B, the network ID field is of 16-bit and host ID field of 16-bit. Address range of class B IP address is 128.0.0.0, because these two bits are fixed. These two bits are fixed means one is fixed compulsory. So the minimum value of first one block is 128 is fixed. So the minimum value is here 128, and the maximum value is 191.191, because this 0 is fixed. So here the maximum value is 191, and all is 2 to 5. So the number of networks is 2 to the power 14. Because here the network ID field is 16-bit, but 2 bits are fixed already, 1 and 0. So we can change only 14 bits. So the number of network is 2 to the power 14, and the number of hosts per network is 2 to the power 16 minus 2. Okay, why we minus 2? Because first and last IP address is not via IP address of any host. So here the network mask is 255 and 255.0.0, because here the network ID field is 16-bit, so network mask is also a 16-bit. So in class C IP address, first 3 bits are fixed, 110. Okay, must remember 110. First 3 bits are fixed in class C IP address. So here in class 3 IP address, okay, so here the network ID is of 24-bit and host ID is of 8-bit. Okay, so IPv4 in IP class C IP address range from 192.0.0 into 253.55.255. Here the 192, because 11 is fixed, and minimum value is 11, it must be. So the minimum value is 192. The maximum value, here the one value is 0, that's why here is 2 to 3 for maximum value, because it can't be a 1. So the minimum value is 2 to 3. So the IP address range belong to this. Okay, and the number of networks is 2 to the power 21, because network ID field is 24-bit, but 3 bits are fixed, that's why 21. The number of hosts per network is 2 to the power 8, because the host ID is of 8-bit, and we minus 2 because first and last IP address is not a IP address of any host. So here the network mask be a 24-bit of network mask. Okay. In class D, the IP address is start with 1110, 3 ones and 1 0. These are the IP address of class D. Start with 1 1 1 and 0. The IP address range of class D IP address is 224. Because these 3 bits are fixed and the sum of these 3 bits are 2 to 4. So the minimum value is 2 to 4 in first 8-bit block. So here the minimum range is here and the maximum value is 239 because it cannot be once. This 0 cannot be once, so the minimum is 239. And for other bits the maximum is 225 because they have not any restriction. So the IP range of class D is 224 to 239, used for multicasting. Here here the class D IP address are used for multicasting only. Multicasting means that class D IP address cannot be a host IP address. Means that class D IP address cannot be a host IP address because they are all 32 bits are of network ID. There is no host ID field. Because network here we see that. So the class D IP address is used for only multicasting, and class D IP4 address cannot be a host ID of any IP address. It is used as a group ID by the IGMP protocol, Internet Group Message Protocol. We will see later. So here confirm class D IP address start with 110, in which it is used as a multicasting and not be a host IP address for any. Cannot be a host IP address of any network. Okay. In class E IP address, IP address is start with 4-bit 1. 4-bit 1 means that the IP address is 242 to 39. The IP address range is start from 242 to 39, and this range IP address is reserved for future use. There is no present any use of this class IP address. This is reserved for future. Okay. Now here the classless IPv4 address. In classless IPv4 address, the number of bits of network ID field are assigned dynamically. In class full IP address, we see that the network ID field there is a fixed starting value and number of bits are already fixed. How many number of bits are used for network ID field? But in classless network ID fields, bits are not fixed, they are dynamically assigned. Okay. No any prefix, but for IP address, in classful IP address we see there is a prefix. Prefix means there is some number of bits are fixed. In network ID field there is some 2 or 3 or 4 bits are fixed for classful IP address, but in classless there is no any prefix. Okay. Like classful. Classless IPv4 address looks like there. PQRS/X. Here X is a number of bits are used for network ID field. Okay. The prefix / notation represents number of network ID bits. Means that here the network ID is X and host ID is 32 minus X bit. Here X is the number of bits used for network ID field. Okay. So thank you. Here the Classful IPv4 addressing, Classful and Classless. Later we will see many more topics in network IPv4 addressing. So if you are enjoying my videos, so enjoy it. And if you want to download the PDF, if that's this PDF, you can join my Telegram channel, in which you can get the PDF. You can download it. Okay, thank you.